3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah. Time's over, boy.
Crazy how I came up in this game and then I ran amok. It's Larry Johnson Jr., LJJLawncare, all on them trucks. I stand insanely on it, bruh. I love to gain a customer. I mainly maintain what I must. I earn they trust off of the bucks. I'm blessing them with beauty cuts and placing them on YouTube, cause I'm trying to get subscriptions up. I'm driven by ambition, bruh. I'm all about integrity. You should never compare to me unless you wanna see how deep your insecurity can be. I'm rolling solo in these streets and all I know is to live free. I'm full of peace, but when it comes to lawncare, boy, I am a beast. I never leave until it's clean. I get them weeds and everything. I throw some seeds and motion leaves and trim them trees and charge them fees. And yes, I am the king of string. I said exactly what I mean. You see the way I do my thing. Them edges squared and crispy clean. Then if you haven't did it yet, go ahead and like, subscribe, and share. And best believe that LJJLawncare is gonna be right there.
Yeah, what's up, man? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to LJJLawncare, visual podcast, motivational channel. Right now, I'm about to go ahead and take y'all back. So sit back and relax and enjoy the conversation that I'm about to spit to you. It's about how I became LJJLawncare, how it all became. So first off, I want to let y'all know, watch the video to the end, and if you would like to donate any money to the channel, you can cash out me at $LJJLawncare. If you have any information that you want to, or give any shout outs or whatever, you can email me at LJJLawncare@yahoo.com. and let's get on with it. But anyway, so when I started, before I started my business, I was a young man. Before, let me give y'all a further reference. I started cutting grass at the age of 12. It was my dad. He woke me up early in the mornings on Saturday to cut the front yard and the backyard. Then he took me over to his mother's house to cut her yard, and he paid me a measly $10 like it was natural. So after years of that, and it was a surprising thing, he ain't just walk me through it or ease me through it. It just happened. He just, hey, get up, boy, and start cutting that grass. It was just on and popping. I used to just sit up and watch cartoons and eat my cereal on Saturday in the morning, but them days was over with. He killed that. It was about cutting that grass. Then he gave me an incentive with that $10. Man, I was balling. I was balling with that $10, man. So anyway, fast forward, I'm in my 20s. I have my own crib, and I have 2 girlfriends at the same time. They both with me. And I was a wild man. It was sex, drugs, and alcohol. That's all it was. I'm just gonna keep it real with y'all. Well, anyway, I had hit a bump in my life, and I had to move back in with my mama. And she was not happy about me bringing these 2 women over there with me. So she said, either you're gonna have to let them go, or you're gonna have to move on out. It was just that simple. Those was the options she gave me. She didn't like what she was seeing. And so I chose to let the 2 girls go and live with my mama. I was the man in the house. It was what it was. I had a nice job working for Metro Colorado. I had some money in my pocket every week. I had at least $500 in my pocket all the time. I was living with my mother, paying bills. I was the man in the house. You know, I was raised to be a man. My mother is single, and I was the man. So after some time went by, I ended up losing my job at Colorado, and I worked there for 7 years. And it was the dumbest way that I lost it. I was arguing with a girl or whatever, and that distracted me away from the radio for a long time, and they was calling me, and that's how I ended up losing the job. And I was in a union, and it was my first offense on the job, and they fired me. It was crazy. It was something that was unheard of. I didn't get a written up, a warning, or anything. So after that, I had ended up, they hired me back. So I'm like, oh wow, I got my job back. And when they fired me, I lost my sense of identity. Right? I just want you to know that. When I was fired the first time, I lost my sense of identity, and I didn't know who I was or what I was doing. Seriously, I no longer had the job. I used to work wearing uniforms. Every day I had a schedule to attend to and going on with my business, y'all. Well, their business, Colorado business. But anyway, I got hired back there. It was like I was fired for 2 weeks, and then I had to come to a meeting. Then they got me back in the doors. Okay, I'm working again. I'm started back on working. I got fired 2 weeks later, y'all, because let me tell you something, in case you don't know. If you get written up or let go of whatever it is, you might as well start looking for another job, because now you are on the radar. So me being on the radar, they was watching me closely, and it ain't like I was a horrible worker, y'all. I have good work ethics. I'm really good at it, y'all. It's just that when you're a driver, you're gonna make mistakes. Boom, I made a mistake. I reported the mistake, and they fired me again. I forgot what mistake it was. I don't know what it was. So I filed for unemployment, and the unemployment started. As soon as the unemployment started, they called me back and said, come on, you ready to work again? Boom. So I got fired from there twice now. Yeah, this is crazy. In a matter of, I don't know, I think it was like a month or two. It's the stupidest thing. This is unbelievable for some people. I know y'all don't believe me, but I'm just telling you the truth. So I got fired again, right? And then they called me again saying, hey, you ready to work again? So I came back. Now, mind you, I got fired the first time, came back, fired the second time. Now I'm coming back again, and I'm working again. Now I'm just like, what's it called? I'm tortured inside my mental mindset, because I feel like I don't know what I'm doing at this job. I don't even know what's going on. To be fired once is horrible, and you move on with your life when you lose a job. But to be fired twice, and then call back again, this is embarrassing and crazy at this time. So they don't have no idea the type of emotional and mental toll that they having on me. So here we go. When I was fired the third time, they didn't call me to come back. And every time they called me to come back, it was a meeting. I was in the union. I had a meeting and all that stuff. And they put me under these different restrictions each time I was fired. It was like, you can't do this, you can't do that. It was the smallest thing. It was micro thing. It was impossible to keep working under them conditions, though, for real. You understand? You can't blink, you can't fart, you can't do anything while you driving. It's something weird. It's just weird. They wanted me out, so they wrote up these weird contracts to get me out. So after I was fired the third time, I filed for the unemployment again. And guess what? Unemployment said, nah, bruh, you owe us money. Because every time I filed for unemployment, I was approved. It's just that they will hire me back instantaneously. And I canceled unemployment every time. But this happened 3 times. I never received a check while I was working. I'm not like that. I'm one of those people that walk a straight line and tell the truth and don't lie. So what ended up happening, they said I owe them $1,000, and I'm not finna be receiving unemployment. It almost feel it was a setup from Colorado, like this is what they do to keep you from being able to get your unemployment money. That was crazy. So anyway, moving on from there. Now I'm lost in the sauce, y'all. I've lost my identity. I'm no longer this clean cut kid. who has $500 in his pockets at all times, driving a nice car, living with his mom. Now I'm just a bum out here living with my mom. I'm looking real crazy. Like, I'm not even used to this type of lifestyle. I'm used to being able to have money on deck. Like, real talk. I'm paying bills and all kind of stuff. So anyway, it was difficult for me to land another job because I'm telling the truth all the time. I'm telling them what happened, and no companies was interested in letting me become one of their employees. So we talking about 3 years, 2 or 3 years of non-working, not bringing no income, y'all, just looking stupid and crazy. Then one day, my uncle called, and he was like, "Hey, I got a job for you." I'm like, "Okay, that's what's up." And it was a driving job. It was St. Elizabeth. So now I'm thinking I'm finna be making like $12, $13 an hour. That's how much I was making at Colorado. Nope. They said, "We can hire you, but it'll be for $7.50 an hour to $8. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, are you serious?" They're like, "Yep." So I ended up working there, y'all. So now, instead of me having $500 in my pocket every week, I'm driving 40 hours, working for a company, only having like $400 every other week. And at this time, I done moved out from my mama house, and I had my own apartment. So that was like $800 a month, and I was paying rent for like $500. Anyway, it was a tough, rough situation. Considering on this job, you can't call in. Well, I couldn't call in. I was the only driver for the facility that I was working for. They didn't hire nobody else to back up me if I ever need to call in or anything. So this was a terrible job, by the way, y'all. The only thing that was good about it is that I was eating the soup that they used to cook. I was eating the soup that was cooked, and the food. I was bringing that food home, cereal and all, everything. So they took care of the food wise, and they paid me $400 every other week. But I couldn't call in. I had to go to work. So I'm stuck like Chuck, y'all. Even if I was sick or whatever. One time I had called in. I said, "Hey, Miss Elizabeth, I'm not feeling that well. I don't think I can make it today." And it was a blistering snow outside and everything, y'all. It was blizzard. It was jacked up. She said,
"Do you still want a job tomorrow?"
I said, "Yeah." She said,
"Then you better get your butt up and go to work."
Oh my gosh. I couldn't miss a day, y'all. That was crazy. Man, imagine that. But anyway, the imminent day had came when I had worked the split, because that's how I was. I was working the split. And I went back home to go to sleep to get some rest. And I had overslept. And by the time I woke up, I had to be back out to the county to pick up the participants to take them back home. And I ended up getting fired because it was just, I was so late picking them up. It was what it was, you know. And it was over with for that job. I lost that job. And so it's off to college. I didn't really care about that job like that. But anyway, moving on, it's off to college. So I'm in college, y'all. And I'm seeing my true potential. I'm like, what in the world is going on? I ain't even know I was this smart. I made the dean's list every year that I was there. Straight A's. I'm like, what in the world? But no money. So I was in college to become a dentist or a pharmacist, one or the other. But when I realized how long it was going to take for me to be doing that, my mind and heart gave out about that. You know, I didn't care nothing about it. My passion and all that stuff. I'm like, man, that's crazy. 7 years or more? Nah, I'm good. I need money. I'm used to bringing in money, you know, and some people would say, hey, just get a part-time job. It's difficult to do that. And it's difficult to find somebody to hire you when you tell them what happened to you on your past job, because you can't lie. It's a weird situation. So again, I moved back out of my apartment, back to my mama house, and I was just in school. Thanks, mommy, for supporting me. I was a bum, yeah. I was just in school. I was a nerd, a book nerd, and all that stuff. But anyway, moving on. So yeah, that's like 7 years of me balling when I was younger to 7 years of me bumming. Just keeping it real. So the best thing that happened to me is when I met my wife. She was working at Walgreens. I was in college, and I was like, I like this little chick right here. Man, she a baddie. Now, I done had so many girls. I had multiple women staying with me at the same time. I had women that was just cool friends, and you know how I go. I done had girls. But this one right here, man, I'm like, I like this. I gotta get this. But I had no money. So I met her, and she knew that I was in college. She knew about my ambition. She knew I had potential. But I ain't have no money. And she was cool though. She ain't even harass me or say nothing to me. That was an extra plus. So I'm like, man, I want to take her out. I want to do something, man. This is crazy. So I'm like my dad taught me. He said, romance without finance is nonsense. So I'm like, I gotta get some type of paper, right? That's what I'm on. I'm like, man, I'm already on. I'm finna stop going to college because this is crazy. I got 7 more years to know. So I had thought about it. I said, let me try the bus company. I tried the bus company. I told them what happened, the situation. They said, that's cool, Larry. Come on. You can work with us. So I had landed a job. I'm like, all right, let me go ahead and get with her or whatever, So we ended up getting married. And from there, I had got a job working for the city. Now, anybody been watching the videos, working at the city, that was a very dangerous job. People upping up guns over a ticket. People ready to kill you for writing them a ticket, putting a ticket on their car. The crazy thing is that they ain't let you have weapons. You will get fired if you come there with a weapon. You can't pistol pack. You can't have no knife, no mace, or nothing on you. Like, if you write this ticket and somebody decides to crash out on you, then it's a wrap. It's over with. Don't even worry about it. That's your life. You chose that. One time, one of the parking enforcement officers got popped in the neck. And when he got shot in the neck, he became an instant paraplegic. It was over with. Yeah, I mean, it was just that simple. It only take a second, then it's over with. And he was never seen again. Shoot, I asked the supervisor what happened with that. Like, what's up, man? We finna change the rules? Nope. Oh, he had got shot while he was off. Even though he was wearing his uniform, he was off the clock. So that was on his time. I'm like, what? Man, I gotta get up out of here. So next thing you know, 2020 came. The pandemic hit. Bloop. I'm like, we off, right? We out of work, but we getting paid while we off. We was off for about, I think, 2 months, 8 weeks. The whole time I was thinking to myself, now this is an opportunity for me to figure out how to quit this job. Seriously, it's too dangerous. People getting shot. Nobody's talking about the stuff, and we just acting like we're normal out here. We're safe. No, we don't have no weapons anyway. So I'm like, it's gotta be a way. And I know how to cut grass and go cut my mama grass and everything. And it's like, man, let me figure something out. I'm like, hold on, wait a second. What is this? Have I been missing something all this time? I'm like, man, I can cut grass and make some money. I can start charging people making money. So let me do my research. That's what the college was for, right? To teach me how to do research. To teach me how to become a better, intelligent individual. So I'm like, let me do my research. I'm on YouTube. I'm watching all type of videos. I'm like, I didn't know this. I didn't know that. I'm learning about business. I'm learning about credit. And I chose lawn care as my trade. I'm just watching it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, I can do this. I've been doing this since the age 12. My dad told me to do it. I had to do it. I had no choice. I was forced. It was destiny. So now I'm up here talking to my wife. We went over prices. Y'all already know that was a month wasted. Out of that whole situation of me being off, that was a month wasted. Me and her fighting. We going back and forth, arguing, yelling at each other. Got to a point where we wouldn't even talk. All because I said I cut her yards for $20. She wasn't going for it. She thought that was the stupidest thing, and it was. It was. I'm not gonna lie. If you cutting some yards right now for $20, you're doing the dumbest, stupid thing. I don't care if it's just you take your lawnmower over there and just hit it one time with a swipe and leave. Nah, bro. Nah, that ain't how the game go. What about your time that you wasted to do that? How long did it take for you to get there to do it? You know, from the time that your mind was heading that way. You know what I'm saying? How long? So, me and my wife, we had an apartment. We living in an apartment at the time. And I bought my equipment. And I got me some customers. And things are starting to look on the bright side. I'm back at the job now. We back out here in the dangerous streets. But in the morning time, I was cutting grass. And in the evening, I was working parking enforcement. So from 7:30 to 12:30, I was cutting grass, and then I head back home, take a shower, and then I head to the parking enforcement and work there from 2 to 10 or 2 to 9, because they had, since the pandemic hit, they had cut an hour out, you know, some weird stuff. Anyway, now when I was doing this, when I was cutting grass at the apartment, I had just the X-Mark 30-inch, you know, and I had it stored in the storage facility. It took me 10 to 12 minutes to get to the storage unit, and I felt like that was crazy right there. That is insane that I have to drive my truck to the storage unit and load the truck with the equipment to go cut yards. So I said, you know what? Efficiency. I need more efficiency. So I said, let me get me a house. I know it sounds like it's just that simple, but that was how simple it was. Because I had already been studying about credit, because I used the college capabilities that I have inside and applied it to real life. Stuff that's really important, things that matter. I learned how to build my credit, fix it, make it look beautiful. I knew what to do. You know, and so I built my credit, and I said, let me get a house. I purchased a house, but not just any house. I needed a house with a garage. I had an idea how I wanted my stuff to be. I want my setup to have a garage, period. So I found a house that was in the area that I'm working with a garage. It was a perfect setup for me. I bought a second truck. It was the Dodge Ram. It was a bus. It was a flat out lemon. That was $7,000 down the drain. I doubled back, bought this truck, because I wasn't finna go through that situation again. It's more of a newer one. It had 18,000 miles on it, so I thought that was good. I bought it, and thus far it's been working well for me. I had enough customers to quit my job, so I let them go, and I did my own thing. That's how I did LJJLawncare, and I appreciate you guys. Make sure you drop some L's in the building if you stay to the end, and I'm gonna holler at y'all in a minute. Peace. Let me show y'all this spraying. Some of y'all be leaving comments saying that I'm not spraying my stuff, man, or the concrete is sticking out and the weeds are sticking out in the concrete. Customers gotta pay for that, y'all. Always remember that, man. Customers gotta pay for it. If they ain't paying for it, and you see it, that means that they ain't paid for it. It's just that simple. If you see it, don't worry about me. It's good, I'm getting it. They just ain't paid for it. Fellas,
Alright, fellas. I'm glad y'all watch my videos. Make sure you like and subscribe. Stay fly. Like and subscribe. Live your life. Really, this is. Oh yeah, triple concrete. Look, you didn't get the weeds in the grass. Dude, this stuff kills. And then if y'all watching them shorts, and y'all see that it's there, and the video ain't done. Like, you know, it's like, okay, he's cutting grass. Why would y'all assume that, you know, oh, you didn't get the weeds in the crack? Man, come on, man. It's pretty whack, y'all. I'm gonna holler at you in a minute. Make sure you like and subscribe. This is Larry with LJJLawncare. Peace.
Crazy how I came up in this game and then I ran amok. It's Larry Johnson Jr., LJJLawncare, all on them trucks. I stand insanely on it, bruh. I love to gain a customer. I mainly maintain what I must. I earn they trust off of the bucks. I'm blessing them with beauty cuts and placing them on YouTube, cause I'm trying to get subscriptions up. I'm driven by ambition, bruh. I'm all about integrity. You should never compare to me unless you wanna see how deep your insecurity can be. I'm rolling solo in these streets and all I know is to live free. I'm full of peace, but when it comes to lawncare, boy, I am a beast. I never leave until it's clean. I get them weeds and everything. I throw some seeds and motion leaves and trim them trees and charge them fees. And yes, I am the king of string. I said exactly what I mean. You see the way I do my thing. Them edges squared and crispy clean. Then if you haven't did it yet, go ahead and like, subscribe, and share. And best believe that LJJLawncare is gonna be right there.